The secret to amazing chopped herbs is dry knife, dry board, and dry herb. Now, I'm not talking about dried herbs, which are ones that you buy in a jar at the grocery store. I'm talking about fresh herbs that you're going to chop or use, but you need them to be bone dry when you go to chop them. So you're going to make sure you use paper towel and stuff like that in order to make sure they're nice and dry. And the reason why you want to make sure you do that is that herbs that are wet, or the knife is wet, or the board is wet, will burn them, and it makes them black around the edges, and it's a big old mess, and you don't want that. Today I just have a couple examples. I've got some really nice Italian leaf parsley, thyme, basil, and sage. Now thyme, when you take it off the stem, you're gonna pull it backwards, and you're gonna pull the little leaves off the stem, and sometimes when you get to the tips of the stem, they're real delicate, so it's a little harder to get the leaves off, but you're gonna pull the leaves off, but usually you just pull them backwards. Do a little chop. You can use thyme leaves whole, but here's the situation. You want to open the herb a little bit and let some of that flavor out, so chopping it helps to do that. When you want to do basil, I like to layer them, and then I roll it up like a cigar, and you're going to cut acrossways. And in this way, you make what's called a chiffonade, which is actually just the French word for ribbon. So it's a fancy French word that just means ribbons, and that's why you get these beautiful strips. Next, you can do the same with sage. You can chop it, or you can also do a little bit of the rolling cigar method. And then I would chop this across a little bit, because sage is a pretty strong herb, and I don't really want big chunks of sage. And last but certainly not least, you have your parsley, and that I just like to chop. You can do it as rustically, which means just like a rougher chop, or a nice fine chop, however you like it. I will tell you, if you chop parsley like this and you make sure everything was dry when you chopped it, it'll last almost a week in the fridge in a nice dry container. Basil is one of those herbs you're gonna wanna chop right before you eat it or serve it. It doesn't last a real long time pre-chopped. So there you have it, the secret to amazing fresh chopped herbs. Dry knife, dry board, dry herb.